Hi guys, my name is Ekbereka Creations. Today I'll be making off-shoulders A-line dress. For us to know how many fabric that we'll put on fold, we'll work with the biggest circumference. My hip is 46 and my bust is 46, so I'm going to work with 46. But if your hip is bigger than your bust, you work with your hip measurements. So this fabric is folded into 4. This one is folded into 2 and this one also into 2. So we are going to divide my hip measurement into 4. 46 divided by 4 is 11 and a half. So this is 11 and a half. Plus 1 inch for eighths or half. You can use half, you can use 1, but I'll use 1. 12 and a half. And 1 inch for seam allowance. 13 and a half. So it's enough. So because it's A-line dress, we are going to add more allowance for A-line on the lower part of it. The flare on the lower part of it, we are going to add more. So you can use 5, 6, 7 or 9 inches for it. So that's why I folded this fabric like this, the way I folded it. My length is 58, but because it's off shoulders, I will minus 5. You can minus 4, you can minus 6. So, and I also need seam allowance here to to fold it for casing, for elastic. But the seam allowance that you will need here depends on the elastic that you're going to use. Like I'm going to use this elastic, it's 1/4 inch. See, the width is 1/4 inch, so 1 inch seam allowance is okay for it. So on the lower part I need seam allowance also. I added 1/2 inch for the seam allowance, so the total seam allowance that I added to this is 1.5 inches. But on your own you can add more seam allowance for folding the lower part. You can add like 2 inches or 1.5 for folding. So this is 1 inch for seam allowance for casing. So from there I'll put my 5 inches on that seam allowance line, and this one is 9 inches is my chest line. My round armhole is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9, and 9 is also standard for armhole. So this one is 17 inches my waistline, and this is 25 for my hip. This is my hip, and this is my length, 58.5 inch for seam allowance. So I'm going to use 4 yards of 4 yards by 45 inches for this dress. This one is 1.5 and this one is 1.5. It's even more than 1.5 because 36 is 1 yard. A yard is measured on this side. 36 is 1 yard. 54 is 1.5 yard, and this is 54.5, the front one, and the back one is 54.5. So it's 3 yards 1 inch. Then this dress will have cape. The cape is about 1 yard. So I'm going to use 4 yards. So I'm going to take my bust measurements now, because this is my chest line. This line is 9 inches, my chest line. So my bust is 46. 46 divided by 4 is 11.5. So this is 11.5 plus 1 inch for ease. You can use 1/2 inch, you can use 1, you can use more than 1, but I'll use 1. 1 inch for ease and 1 for seam allowance. So this is my waistline. My waist is 40. 40 divided by 4 is 10. So I'll mark 10 here. This is 10 inches plus 1 inch for ease. You can use half, you can use 1, you can use more than 1. So plus 1 inch seam allowance. Okay, I'll put my hip measurements here. My hip is 46. 46 divided by 4 is 11 and a half. So this is 11 and a half plus 1 inch for A's and 1 inch for seam allowance. So this is the lower part. So my hip divided by 4 is 46 divided by 4 is 11 and a half. So 11 and a half. So here I'll now mark the A-line allowance from here. So you can use 5, you can use 6, you can use 7, but I'll use 9. So from here, it depends on how full you want it. So from here, I'll mark 9 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance. Okay, I'm going to connect the line. Okay, I'm going to connect the lines. Okay, I'm going to mark the armhole. It will be the same measurement from here. I will extend this measurement to this point. I'll just extend it, but it's my bust divided by 4, 11 and a half plus 1 inch for ease and 1 inch for seam allowance, which is 13 and a half. So it's the same measurement with this one, 13 and a half here. So from this line, I'll come in by 3 or 4 inches. 4 inches is standard, but you can use 4, you can use 3. So I'll mark 4 inches. So from that 4 inches, I'll connect it to this point. I'm going to cut it now. So I'm going to put pockets on this dress, inner pocket. So for you to put your pockets, you mark from here, from where your armhole stop, you measure 8 to 9 inches, which is here. So from your shoulder is about 18 inches. So but I will use 10 inches, which is 19 inches. So I will mark 10 inches there. You can use 9, you can use 10, but I do use from 19 to 21 inches from shoulder. It's still okay from the shoulder. This is where I will put my pockets. So this is my waistline. I will notch it because I want to mark it on the other side. This is my waistline. This is my hip line. And this one is okay. I don't need to. Okay, I'm going to fold the pockets now. It's folded into 4. Okay. So I'm going to cut 4 pieces, 4 pockets. Okay, so if you like, you just put your hand like this and mark it and cut it out, but the standard is 7 inches, so we're going to mark 7 inches. So from there you put your hand. Okay, and cut it out. I'll leave a little bit of seam allowance. I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the pocket. Okay, I'm going to cut the cape now, but I'll work with my round shoulder measurements. My round shoulder is 48, so I'll work it out with a radius. That 48 divided by 6.28 is 7.6, so I will approximate it to 7.75. I want 8 inches cape plus 1.5 inch seam allowance is 9.5. So 9.5 plus 7.75 is 17.25, which is 17.25. Okay, I'll fold my fabric into 4. I'll fold it like this and fold it again like this. Okay, my fabric is folded into 4 now, so I have up to 17.25 here. I have 17.25, more than that on this side also, but what I need is 17.25 on both sides. So now I'm going to mark it. So the radius is 7.75. I'll mark 7.75 here. 7.75. I'll connect the lines. Or if you like, you will fold your fabric into 4 and divide your round shoulder into 4. So you will get whatever you get, you will mark it here. So now I'm going to mark the length. The length is 8 inches plus 1.5 for seam allowance, 9.5. 9.5. So from here, is 17.25. 17.25. 17.25. Okay, let me be sure here. 17.25, so I'll connect it. So I'm going to cut it now. This side will be on the shoulder, and this side is the length. Okay, I will notch here the middle. This is the middle. I notched it. I want to notch it here so that I'll put the cape there, the center. I'll notch it here for the cape. Okay, this is the right side. This is the right side. And this is the right side also, but I'll turn it like this. This is the right side, this is the right side. So okay, so this armhole, I'm going to turn it, sew it, fold it and sew it, or I'll use bias to sew it, this one and this one, and also on the other side. Then I'll fix the pocket. This is where I'll fix my pocket. Is 19 inches from the shoulder, 10 inches from armhole. So this is the right side, and this the pocket. I'll put it like this. I'll go and sew it like this. After doing that, I'll top stitch on the pocket side. I'll do it and show you. I'll also do this one and the other side. Okay, let me fix this one also. So you can see. So I'll go and join this pocket like this. After joining it, I'll top stitch on the pocket side. This is the armhole. I used the bias on it, and also this one. This is the right side. This is the right side, so I used the biases inside. I did the same on this one. So the pocket, I'll fix the pocket. The pocket was like this on the right side. I fix it first. After fixing it, I turn it like this and put the seam on the pocket side and top stitch. I did the same on this one. I also did the same on this side also. So now I'm going to join it now. So you can see this is 1 inch. So I'll sew on this line, on this 1 inch line. So what I'll do now, I'll start from here and sew all the way to this point. Then I'll go like this, I'll sew like this and come out to this point again. Not here, I'll come out to this point, and from this line I'll go down again to the end. I'll do it on the other side also. I've joined the pocket to the end with one inch seam allowance, and also on this side 1 inch. Join it to the end. For us to know how many inches elastic that we're going to cut out for the shoulder, so this is round shoulder. My round shoulder is a 48. So 48 inches is my round shoulder. I'll minus 4 or 5 inches from the elastic. But it depends, because sometimes some elastic stretch more and some stretch less. So it's better to put it around your shoulder. So like this. Put it around your shoulder where you want it to be, like this. Not too tight. It's okay now. It's not loose, it's not tight. It's not too tight. Not too tight, not too loose. If it's too tight, it will keep on going up. If it's loose, it will falling off. Okay. Okay, what I'll do now is to join the cape. So this is the middle of this dress. I notched it, and the cape, this is the middle here. I notched it also. I'll put it together here, and this one is the wrong side. I'll put it inside like this. You can see this is the right side, this is the right side, so I'll put it in between. This is the cape. This is the notch. I'll put them together because it's the center, the middle. This one, you can see the cape is in between, and the cape is the wrong side. And this is the notch on this side, and this is the notch for the cape. I'll pin it. So what I'll do now, you can see this one, the dress. I'll go and join it on the cape like this. I'll go and join it on the cape straight like this. I'll join this side. I'll also join this side. After that, before I will now fold it for elastic. Okay, I'll fix the cape. This is the cape. So I fix it from this armhole here to this point, the other armhole. I use 1/2 inch to join it. So I did the same on this side. From this armhole to this armhole, I use 1/2 inch to join it. So what I'll do now is to fold it for elastic, fold it round for elastic, so that I will put this elastic inside. So what I'll do now is to fold half first, then another half. I'll pin it. I'll fold it round to this point, from here to this point. So I'll leave like 1 inch here to 1 inch open here, so that I can put this elastic from there. So I'll do it and show you. Okay, I'll finish the dress. So the elastic is inside now. So after making casing for elastic, I put the elastic inside. Then I close the little space, the 1 inch space that I left. I close it. So this is the dress now. So this is why I use a 1/2 inch seam allowance for hemming. This is how I hem it. I overlock first. After overlocking, I now fold like 1/4 inch and sew round. You can see, and sew round. The same on the bottom part here, on the lower part. I added 1/2 inch seam allowance so that I will hem it like this. I first overlock. You can see with black thread, I first overlock. After overlocking, then I fold like 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 inch, then and sew it tiny round. So but your own, if you want to do it like this, is okay, but if you want, you can leave like 2 inches seam allowance for folding here, or 1.5, so that you will fold half first and fold 1 or 1.5 and sew it round. These are the pictures. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank